Good afternoon. Canadians are basking in soccer success following Team Canada's World Cup victory over South Africa yesterday afternoon.
Canada punched its ticket to the round of 16 after securing a win in the country's first ever appearance in the tournament's knockout stage.
This is dropping nicely. It's the
You could hear it across the country, all the cheering when Stephen Eustáquio scored in the 92nd minute. His goal lifted Canada to a 1-0 victory over South Africa. Eustáquio spoke following the match.
We worked a lot to get this victory. We really wanted to give this win to all the Canadians. And we just kept believing, we kept pushing. And I think we couldn't have imagined it any other way. I think it was an amazing goal. But when I shot, I felt that everybody shot with me. Everybody put a little bit of power on it, and it went into the back of the net, so I'm very happy.
And CTV's Michael Couture joins us live now with more on Canada's success at the World Cup and what's next for the team. Mike, this organization has gone through so much over so long. How significant was this one win?
Yeah, historic is certainly one way to describe it, Nathan, when you consider the fact that Canada has never made it that far to the round of 32 in any World Cup, and now to make it to the round of 16, and yet another knockout game, another chance at history going forward. Such an amazing moment, and, you know, you showed some of the video there on, you know, all of the watch parties across the country and how this country has really rallied behind this team, the fact that we've seen them from St. John's, Newfoundland, all the way to Victoria, British Columbia. That type of feeling, and even Eustáquio saying that a little bit of power from everybody was behind there, his teammates and likely the fans as well. You know, when you consider the fact that Canada came into this as a co-host of the World Cup, you get an automatic bid as a result of that. But Canada wanted to do more than just show up. They wanted to make sure that they are going further here. And I think Jesse Marsh, the head coach, said it very well at the end of the game when he was huddled with his players. He says, "You are Canadian heroes," and I think there are a number of Canadians that believe that today.
Now there's another game to look forward to, which is so exciting. Set the table for us. Canada either plays Morocco or the Netherlands. This is July 4th. What are the expectations there for the next stage?
Well, it's interesting, I think, Michelle, because going into this, you know, if you look at the FIFA rankings, Canada's 30th, and then Morocco is 6th, and the Netherlands are 7th. So two superpowers, and this really could be a David versus Goliath type of matchup. Unclear exactly how it will play out, but we know that Jesse Marsh has gone down to Mexico to watch the game tonight. And, of course, a number of Canadians will be watching it as well, trying to see whether or not Canada will be able to match up well against them. And, of course, that, as you said, on July 4th, that's when all eyes will be seeing who Canada will be playing. We'll be watching for the result tonight. But I think a lot of people will also be watching to see the fitness level of Alphonso Davies, the captain of this team. He did come on in the 75th minute of yesterday's game. He's being eased back into the lineup because of that hamstring injury. As a result, a lot of people will be wondering whether or not he can get more minutes in the next game and whether or not he will be a big factor. A lot of people hoping that he will be. You could see how the game certainly turned when he did come in the 75th minute, and Canadians hoping that he can play an even bigger role on July the 4th.
Well, this country will be watching. CTV's Mike Couture live for us in Ottawa today. Thank you.
Thank you.
And while Canada isn't in action until July 4th, people have gathered in the city to take in a full slate of World Cup matches, beginning with Brazil taking on Japan at 1 this afternoon. Our Jessica Smith joins us live now with more. Jess.
You know what, Michelle, we all know Brazil is a soccer or a football powerhouse, but they haven't won a World Cup since 2002. So today's game, although they are the heavy favorite, we know that anything can happen. Japan making it out of that first round. They're now into this round of 16, and it's going to be very exciting. Fans already lining up. They're just about to open up the doors, but a lot of Brazil fans already in town. I met a ton of people that were in town for Pride yesterday. They stuck around to watch this game here today, and they're about to make their way in. Again, we all know that that Brazil has a pretty deep history when it comes to the beautiful game. Obviously, with Pelé being one of the most legendary, if not the most legendary player that we know to come out of the game. But we've also got Neymar on the team kind of getting towards the end of his tenure. So we'll have to wait and see what happens today. Brazil being the heavy favorite, but I saw a lineup beginning to form outside of tons of fans for Brazil, tons of fans for Japan. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. But the game happening in Houston today, it'll be around the mid-30s as they head in towards kickoff. It's feeling like that today here in the city of Toronto. So no matter where you are, it is hot. The game's going to be hot, and we'll see what happens because we all know all eyes are on this kind of next round as we head into what is going to be, I'm sure, an exciting game today. And there's more games this afternoon, Michelle.
Right.
Thank you, Jess.
Thank you for those hydration breaks. Thanks, Jess.
Thanks.
Well, the other news now, woman in hospital after being struck by a vehicle in the Portlands. Police say the woman in her 30s was struck by an SUV near Carlaw and Commissioner Street just after 6 this morning. She was rushed to hospital with life-threatening injuries. The driver of the vehicle remained at the scene. Investigators are still trying to figure out how it happened.
A motorcyclist has been injured following a crash in Mississauga. This happened before 10 last night near Winston Churchill Boulevard and Laird Road, just north of Dundas. Peel Regional Police say the motorcycle collided with another vehicle in this area. The rider was taken to hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. The driver of the other vehicle remained at the scene. Meantime, no injuries reported following a crash in the area of Dufferin and Steeles. Two vehicles colliding in that area just before 11:30 p.m. yesterday. The cause of this crash still being looked into.
A man accused of murdering his parents in Mississauga is now in police custody. This video shows 46-year-old Jordan Sangwin near Lakeshore and Yodders Lane in Etobicoke. Peel police say he was arrested around 5 p.m. on Saturday in a makeshift shelter in Mimico Creek Park. Sangwin has been charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder in connection with the deaths of his parents. They died in hospital after being found with fatal injuries in their Port Credit home on June 18th.
Police are asking for the public's help to identify a suspect wanted in connection with a break-and-enter in East York. Police have released these images of the man. Investigators say a home in the area of Cosburn and Coxwell was broken into around 3 a.m. yesterday. The homeowner confronted the suspect, who ran from the scene. He was last seen wearing a red long-sleeve shirt and gray sweatpants. Police are asking anyone who might have information to come forward.
The case of a former Air Canada pilot accused of flying hundreds of flights without a proper license was back in court today. Police say 59-year-old Jeffrey Wall flew roughly 900 domestic and international flights on a fake license. Investigators say while he did have some qualifications, he never obtained the high-level license required to fly the Boeing planes he piloted. Wall is accused of attempting to conceal forged documents by filing a false police report. He worked for Air Canada for 27 years before retiring in 2025. He's set to be back in court on September 21st.
Well, rainbow colors took over city streets yesterday as the city held its 45th annual Pride Parade.
Thousands of people, including the Prime Minister, turned up to show their support for the LGBTQ2S+ community. CTV's Andrea Case has a recap.
Pride on full display and joy as the 45th annual Pride Parade made its way down Yonge Street from Bloor to Nathan Phillips Square.
Oh, it just feels like home. It feels like all our people are here. We're just happy. We're cheering. We're just spreading the love.
It's nothing but love here. Nothing but love.
It's going amazing. This is my first Pride. It's super hot. I'm having a blast. It's amazing. I'm absolutely loving it, and like just being able to be with my community and be loved and proud of who I am.
It's been wet. It's been alternate showers and extreme heat, and but unbelievable energy. The whole city coming together, actually the whole world coming together, because as Kojo knows, we got people from Ghana, we've got people from Dominica, we've got people from Grenada, we've got people from the United States of America coming here to Canada to celebrate freedoms.
Prime Minister Mark Carney circled June 28th on his calendar a year ago, promising to attend Toronto's Pride Parade. He not only walked the route, he joined in the fun, greeting people and taking selfies.
We've got to fight for our rights, and we've got to respect each other, love whom we want to love, work together, and no better city than Toronto.
The parade features over 200 marching groups and more than 25,000 individual participants, making this the second largest pride parade in the world.
Just lots of walking, and the spirit gives us all the energy we need.
It's like 10 million,
10 million out of 10. It's amazing.
Sure.
It's been so much
We're
fun.
having a great time.
An estimated 2 to 3 million people take in the parade and related events over the course of the month of June.
Andrea Case, CTV News, Toronto.
Meanwhile, Pride Toronto's official closing night concert was held in Nathan Phillips Square. The free event wrapped up the festival weekend. It featured performances by Brazilian drag star Gloria Groove, as well as Inuk throat singer Tanya Tagak. Toronto's city-run summer camps are now open.
For the first time, we are providing a really nutritious snack, mid-morning snack for these campers. All 110,000 campers are getting this nutritious snack. Because, you know, if you're hungry, you can't play, you can't make friends, you can't have fun, and you can't learn.
The mayor marked the first official day of Camp TO by visiting campers at the Parkway Forest Community Center in North York. The program is open to kids between 4 and 16 years of age. Camp TO runs through the end of August.
Canada Day is on Wednesday, and the city has offered a preview of its holiday celebrations. There will be free, family-friendly programming throughout the day, including a pancake breakfast in Thompson Memorial Park. World Cup festivities, of course, will continue in Nathan Phillips Square, meaning people can play on those temporary soccer pitches and take in matches on the big screens in the square. During the evening, there will be fireworks displays at Mel Lastman Square, Amesbury Park, and Stan Wadlow Park.
We have more news in a moment, but first, here's a live look at the city this afternoon as things kind of get reset there at Nathan Phillips Square and those Fan Fest events pick up. Lindsay Morrison has a look at the current conditions, and if you're going to be heading outside, shorts and a T-shirt for sure.
Absolutely, Nathan. And it's interesting that today, relatively speaking, is the cooler day this week, but already it feels like 30 out there. It feels like 35 in Niagara region. And yes, we are heading into a bit of a heat wave situation for especially the middle part of this week, including Canada Day. Already heat warnings in place across southwest Ontario, along the shore of Lake Huron, as well as southern Georgian Bay. Winds today out of the east. Enjoy that breeze. It's going to give you some relief today. Watching for some showers and perhaps some thunderstorms as we make our way for the GTA, more so overnight tonight and then through the day tomorrow. But here's today at a glance. 29 degrees is going to feel more like 32 at the height of the afternoon with a mix of sun and cloud. We are at a 9 on the UV index, so don't forget to take care of yourself. And not just the SPF, but stay hydrated and look after your neighbors this week. We've got some scorching temperatures and humidex values to talk about this week. All the details are coming up. For now, though, Nathan, back to you.
Thank you, Lindsay. There's a renewed focus on a proposal by the federal government to buy up vacant condos in British Columbia.
Now, the Conservative leader is calling for an investigation into the plan. CTV's Jeremy Charon reports.
It's a move the Carney government insists is about supporting Canadians, not distressed developers.
We don't care about the developer. We care about the person, the family that can potentially move into the home.
But a plan to buy and convert 2,200 unsold condos in British Columbia into affordable rent-to-own units is coming under fire.
We need a full investigation into the Carney condo bailout.
In a new letter to the House of Commons Ethics Committee, Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre is calling for an urgent meeting to investigate what he calls a plan to bail out developers, bankers, and investors. Speaking with CTV News Sunday, Poilievre says Carney is protecting developers from losses.
Who asked for this? Who lobbied for this? And who is benefiting from putting these condo losses on the backs of hardworking taxpayers struggling to make ends meet?
When asked last week, Carney said no developer asked for this from him directly. The Prime Minister stressed there is no specific transaction on the table yet. Few details have been shared about the actual plan.
I don't think we've done, self-included, a particularly good job of rolling this out and explaining exactly what it is.
I think this is smart politics for Pierre Poilievre, because I do think this file has been badly miscommunicated.
The average Canadian is looking at this and saying, looks like Poilievre's got a point here.
Poilievre argues Carney's plan would only drive housing prices up.
The solution is obvious. Let the condo developers lower the price so that Canadians can afford to buy the condos themselves.
Now, the criticism may already be enough to stop this proposal from going ahead. BC Premier David Eby, who made the announcement alongside the Prime Minister, has said if it proves to be unpopular, it will not move forward.
Jeremy Sharon, CTV News, Ottawa.
A new poll suggests that federal Liberals still hold a lead over the Conservatives, but have lost a little ground. The Liaison poll shows the Liberals with 42% support among decided and leaning voters. The Conservatives trail at 34% support, followed by the NDP with 13%, the Bloc Québécois at 6%. The 8-point lead for the Liberals is down from 11 points in the most recent survey. However, Prime Minister Mark Carney's approval rating rose a single point to 58%, while his disapproval rating remains steady at 36%. The random phone survey of more than 1,500 people is considered accurate, within 2.5 percentage points, 19 times out of 20.
The World Cup has been dominating the sports headlines, but Canada's men's national basketball team will also be playing on the world stage.
The squad is in the city today preparing for the FIBA World Cup qualifiers. CTV's Mike Walker joins us live now from the Mattamy Athletic Center with more. Mike, so many sports happening in our city. We love it.
It's an exciting time to be a sports fan, definitely here in Toronto. The FIBA World Cup is still over a year away, but Canada's men's national team opening their training camp here today and revealing their roster as they prepare for the next round of the qualifiers that are set to get underway next month. Now, the 16-man roster for this summer qualifiers, headlined by two-time NBA MVP and Hamilton native Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. The Raptors' RJ Barrett will attend camp but will not play in this next round of qualifiers. Now, Canada is already off to a strong start, so far undefeated in the qualifiers with 4 wins and has already advanced to the next round. The team looking to secure a podium finish at the World Cup and build on the success of the 2023 campaign, where Canada defeated the U.S. to win its first medal, a bronze medal. It's the best finish in program history. Here's more from some of the players.
Playing for your country is something I dreamed about as a kid, and being able to have the opportunity to do so, I just choose the opportunity to do so every single time. It's that simple for me. Now, everybody has their own life, their own personal things going on, and if I personally couldn't be here, I wouldn't be here, but I have the opportunity to be here, so I'm going to be here every time.
All of us are hungry to get back to playing for our country, and seeing new faces that want to join and be a part of this is amazing to see. But I'm totally excited and ready to start getting this work in.
We have a group of elite individuals and a lot of players who can impact the game in different ways. But first and foremost, we need to create a team mentality. It just doesn't happen overnight. It takes some time. It's a process. And that's what we're starting with today and continuing what the players did in the windows.
Now, this is a very small window for training camp, only 4 days, with the qualifiers kicking off Friday with a game at TD Coliseum in Hamilton against Puerto Rico. It's one of 2 games for Canada in Hamilton. The other is on July 6th against Jamaica. Reporting live, I'm Mike Walker. Nathan, back to you.
All right, thank you, Mike. A 4.6 magnitude aftershock struck north of the Venezuelan capital today, but no damage was reported. Round-the-clock search and rescue efforts are into their 4th day after 2 powerful quakes hit last week. A 60-year-old woman was pulled from the rubble of a building in a coastal town. She'd been there 86 hours. The back-to-back earthquakes Wednesday killed close to 1,500 people. Venezuela has received support from 24 countries, which have sent more than 500 tons of supplies and over 2,700 rescue and support personnel.
There is conflicting information from the U.S. and Iran about when peace talks might resume. U.S. President Donald Trump says Tehran has requested a meeting, but one of Iran's top negotiators said no further talks have been scheduled. Hostilities mounted in recent days in the Strait of Hormuz, but after 4 days of trading strikes, both the U.S. and Iran appeared to pause their attacks today. An interim deal agreed to earlier this month calls for Tehran to dilute its stockpile of enriched uranium. It also waives sanctions against the Islamic Republic while reopening the strait. The danger tree, a wartime icon in France with a Canadian connection, is getting a new look.
CTV's Garrett Berry has more on the team working to revitalize the symbol of sacrifice.
Mere meters from the Allied front lines, the danger tree is one of the only features in no man's land in Beaumont-Hamel. Just as it was on July 1st, 1916, when the Royal Newfoundland Regiment was ordered over the top directly into relentless German gunfire. In the devastating few minutes that followed, hundreds of those men and boys were killed or injured. Historians say the danger tree was the high point of the attack, many soldiers killed at its roots. Over the years, it was replaced and rebuilt, but never quite perfectly. And this year, to mark the 110th anniversary of the Battle of Beaumont-Hamel, the team from Memorial University in Newfoundland has built a true replica.
It certainly used a lot of the technologies and capabilities that we have, but I think the final appearance and how it looks and feels and appears to folks was very important.
The danger tree is a bit of a solemn icon here in Newfoundland and Labrador, but part of the challenge in construction was finding out what exactly it looked like more than 100 years ago during the Battle of Beaumont-Hamel.
The key, this picture, the only one researchers have found showing the danger tree with people standing nearby.
Started to gradually form out what that would look like in 3 dimensions with some imagination and try to guess the scale by the people that were in the picture.
So it showed the tree's size just after the end of the First World War. It also showed what it means for thousands of Newfoundlanders and Labradorians.
And the importance and significance, for this family to travel over and see the site that their loved one had died was really incredible. So that particular picture and memory for people, I think, really helped to shape what this was going to look like.
The tree replica is being installed in France and will be unveiled Tuesday ahead of the 110th anniversary of the Battle of Beaumont-Hamel next week. Garrett Berry, CTV News, St. John's.
Well, almost as if right on cue with the kids on summer vacation, it feels like the season out there and is only going to get hotter as this week goes on. So here's today's highs, 29 degrees, likely to feel more like 32, but feeling into the mid-30s already in places once you take that humidity into consideration. And the next 3 days, Wednesday and Thursday, daytime highs around 35, feeling into the 40s, and overnight lows of around 24 degrees, which is very uncomfortable for sleeping. Doesn't allow the body to cool down if you don't have access to AC. So here's a few tips to help you beat the heat and, quite frankly, stay safe this week. My tip is to look after your neighbors, check on those who may not have access to a cool space, and stay with us. We're going to take a look at your weather forecast into the early days of July after the break.
When you see it happen, send it to CTV News. Text 10400 from your screen to ours. Text 10400.
Let's check in once again with CTV's Jessica Smith as fans prepare for the big match between Japan and Brazil. You lose, you go home. And just for the fans, you got to dress for this.
Listen, there's always going to be that little bit of tension between fans, but I feel like they're saying Brazil's going to win. They're saying Japan's going to win, but you never know what's going to happen. What brought you out today? Obviously, it's a beautiful day. We're into the round of 32. Everyone knows Brazil's history when it comes to the World Cup, but anything could happen. How are you feeling getting into the game today?
I'm optimistic because I think the team is getting there. We are better than when we started. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that we're gonna win.
Yeah. What's the score gonna be?
I think 2-1 for Brazil.
Okay, but I mean, the fans for Japan are saying they got this. What do you think's going to happen today?
I think we're gonna win as like 3-2.
3-2.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
What's the secret sauce to winning for you guys today?
Our coach is the secret.
All right. And you were with your friends, but you switched sides before the interview started. So come on over here. Who are you cheering for today?
No, I think I gotta go for Brazil at the end, you know, because it's like Neymar's last World Cup, you know. He's a generational icon. Helped all these kids in this generation start playing football. Like, it's not only Messi and Ronaldo, you know. So.
Fair enough, fair enough. We all know Pele, I think one of the most famous football players in the world. But do you think Neymar's at that level?
Well, first of all, rest in peace, Pele. I know he just passed away not too long ago. But I think Neymar's, if he gets this World Cup, I think he's going to be at that level. The amount of impact that he's had is, you can't describe it.
So who's going to win?
Brazil.
Who's going to win?
Japan.
All right, there you go. We'll have to wait to see and find out. I'll send things back inside to the studio.
All right.
I don't know, guys. I don't know.
We don't know. That's why we watch the game. Anything can happen.
Hope so.
All right, well, the biggest game in Canada's men's program history is happening Saturday, July 4th in Houston.
The team will learn who its opponent will be tonight when Morocco and the Netherlands square off. For more, we're joined live by Caroline Salemi, football content creator. Caroline, great to have you back with us. We chatted last before the World Cup. There's been so much action since. I know you've been traveling everywhere, taking it all in. And Canada defying expectations, riding all this momentum with their win over South Africa. What are your thoughts on what's happened and the fact that they're going through to the round of 16?
Well, thank you both for having me back. I'm so excited to be here. You guys know any chance I get to talk about football, to talk about Canadian history, I'm down for it. And what an incredible ride this Canadian men's national team has been on. You know, we talk about the biggest sporting event in the world. We talk about the biggest stage in the world. That is the FIFA World Cup. And Canada has made so much history in this World Cup alone, you know, getting our first ever group stage point, getting out of the group stage, now winning the round of 32 against South Africa, and now booking our ticket into the round of 16. And this is such a massive accomplishment, not only for the men's team, but for Canada as a whole, for the evolution of the sport, for everything it's going to do for the youth watching this moment. You know, I can still get emotional thinking about it. You know, the Stefan Eustáquio goal, it couldn't have happened to a more deserving player. Eustáquio is the engine of this team. He is the quarterback. He is the general. He works so hard, and sometimes he's in a position on the field that doesn't get all the glory because he's doing all of the hustle. He's running off the ball. He's doing so much defensive work. He's keeping us in possession. But for him to score that goal, and what a great goal that was right outside the 18-yard box, this is a moment in Canadian sports history that will never be forgotten. And honestly, in World Cup history, because Canada's just made World Cup history, and that's something that cannot be understated.
For sure. Caroline, you've played top-level soccer. You understand what it takes to win a game, especially against a team that technically is supposed to be better than you just based on rankings. What do you think they need to do to beat either Morocco or the Netherlands going into that game?
You know, Nathan, I had the honor of representing Canada at a World Cup. So these World Cup games, you have to take it day by day, game by game. When you look at Canada's match against South Africa, you know, the criticism might be the style of football wasn't the most beautiful style of football between both teams. But at the end of the day, in these tournaments, the most important thing you need to remember is getting the result. And Canada did just that. So now they're headed into their next match, into the round of 16, where they'll either face the Netherlands or Morocco. And, you know, they just have to keep that momentum going, that game plan that Jesse Marsch has fed them, the belief and trust that they have in each other, and the belief knowing that, hey, you know, we have defied all odds at this World Cup, and we can keep going. We can do it. It doesn't matter who you're playing. Anything can happen at the World Cup. And honestly, if you've been watching this World Cup, the craziest results have happened. You know, the craziest of outcomes have happened. You have nations coming into this tournament that have never appeared in the World Cup before, and they're taking down some big teams. So Canada just needs to keep that momentum going and really, really believe that they can do it, because they absolutely can.
Real quick before we let you go, teams to watch going forward now that we're in the elimination stage, and how pumped are you? Portugal's coming to town.
Oh my goodness, Portugal-Croatia is going to be absolutely insane, especially in the Ontario area. I know that there are tons of Croatian, tons of Portugal fans, so I'm very excited for that match. And one of the biggest and best teams to keep an eye out for is France, one of the most lethal attacks in the entire tournament. We've all seen what Mbappe and Dembele have been doing. It's just crazy. And then, of course, I want to give a shout out to all the host nations, Mexico, Canada, USA. They've been incredible. The support that the home fan base has given each of these teams have been incredible. And USA, our neighbors, I've been so impressed with how they've handled this World Cup stage. Pochettino, what he's done with this team. And I'm excited to see how far each host nation goes. And Brazil has got a big game against Japan here coming up soon, and Carlo Ancelotti is one of my greatest managers of all time, so I'm excited to see, if Brazil's able to book their ticket into the round of 16 as well.
Yeah, I can't wait to find out. Football content creator Caroline Salemi, always a pleasure to chat with you, and hopefully we'll chat again soon. Take care.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
All right, let's talk about the forecast now, and we're still that vibe after that big game on Sunday. You can still feel it, and it just brings the whole country together, doesn't it?
I think people who maybe weren't watching soccer before are watching it now, and there's just so much hope, and it's really amazing that Canada is just proving to us that, wow, they can do this, and who knows, maybe they'll win again.
Who knows? Anything can happen. And yes, it's so exciting. We're celebrating that. We're celebrating the fact that it very much feels like summer. Okay, perhaps not everyone's celebrating because it is going to be very hot this week. Hotter than what we've experienced up until this point this season. Heat wave criteria, a stretch of 30+ degree temperatures, and it's going to feel like 40 several times this week. Did I mention it's not going to cool down all that much at night? We also have a risk of thunderstorms. Lots to discuss. Weather is brought to you by the Presler Law Firm. Injury lawyers, you don't pay unless they win. We kick things off with a live look outside. This is our beautiful city skyline. A little bit of haze out there today. These are the final days of June, and as we say goodbye to this month, we take a look back at how it was all shaking out. Temperatures were actually quite normal, and as far as rainfall, as you may recall, we had quite a rainy spring, and we've had more rain than average in June so far. A couple of days left to go. Let's see if we add to that or not. But first, temperature-wise, 27 degrees feels like 30 this hour at Pearson Airport. A look at the almanac, 26 degrees is our seasonal norm. Record to beat for this day is 33.5 degrees. Probably not going to break that today. However, we will keep eyes on record highs for the coming days, especially Wednesday, Thursday, when it's expected to be very hot around the GTA. 20 degrees is what we're forecasting for a low tonight, above average. And yes, we do have the risk of a passing thunderstorm. I know so many kids are off to camp this week. Here's a look at your camp forecast for tomorrow. Risk of active weather tomorrow in the morning and perhaps around noon hour. It's looking dry so far tomorrow afternoon, but that risk of storms, I would say that it hangs on through much of the day, even though a lot of your day tomorrow is going to be dry. Sometimes extended periods of sunshine can fuel the development of thunderstorms, especially in the afternoon and early evening. Highs of around 32 degrees tomorrow afternoon, feeling like 42 in places. And believe it or not, it's going to become even muggier than that as the week goes on. Satellite and radar, we do have a couple of showers that are trying to reach closer to us here in the GTA. This is mainly for areas northwest still of Kitchener-Waterloo. Some thunderstorm activity back toward the center of the Great Lakes. We're going to watch for the active weather pattern, especially tonight and tomorrow. And then the rest of the week, there is a slight chance of a shower pretty much every day, thanks in part to the heat and humidity. There's tomorrow morning. Chance of showers, risk of thunderstorms. Again, afternoon looks pretty dry for now. Wednesday, of course, is Canada Day, and we're going to keep an eye on the possibility of pop-up showers or thunderstorms in places. But for the most part, it looks like conditions should be good for fireworks at this time. This is the 7-day forecast. 35 degrees for Wednesday and Thursday. Look at those very warm overnight lows. And it looks like the 30-degree highs could follow us right through the weekend. That's the weather for now. Michelle, over to you.
Thank you, Lindsay. Bo Bichette set to return to the Rogers Center tonight for the first time since signing with the New York Mets this offseason.
Who hits it high in the air to deep center. It is gone!
Remember that? Bichette's last game with the Jays was Game 7 of the 2025 World Series, which saw him hit a 3-run homer off Shohei Ohtani. Bichette spent 7 seasons in Toronto, earning 2 All-Star selections before signing the 3-year deal with the Mets over the offseason.
Well, it might be this. Lucas, deep right field, and it's gone.
when the Jays face Bichette's team, they want to put an end to the now 6-game losing streak. The series starts tonight. The team lost 3-2 to the Texas Rangers yesterday afternoon, allowing the winning run to score on a wild pitch by closer Louis Varland. Trey Savage is set to start tonight with first pitch, 7:07 p.m. at Rogers Center.
Denis Shapovalov is out at Wimbledon after retiring in his opening match. The Richmond Hill native collided with a fence in the second set of his opening match. He appeared to injure his left elbow or shoulder and was checked out by a physiotherapist. He returned to the court but retired from the match after the next point. Shapovalov made it to the semis at Wimbledon in 2021.
There is a report the Los Angeles Clippers are involved in serious discussions about a trade that would send Kawhi Leonard back to the Toronto Raptors. This moment here that would live in Toronto sports history forever. Leonard's Game 7 buzzer beater against Philadelphia en route to the championship title back in 2019. Today, ESPN reported that representatives for the 7-time All-Star have made it known that if the Clippers want to move on from him, Leonard would sign a contract extension with the Raps. He has 1 season left on his current contract, and LA has not yet committed to him beyond that.
American broadcasters had some fun after Canada's huge World Cup win over South Africa. Fine. They trotted out an iconic Canadian symbol in a video posted following the match.
Sorry, but no.
All right, let them have their fun. Now, Canada will be watching tonight with the winner of the Morocco-Netherlands up next for the Canadians on Saturday.
Still to come on CTV News at noon, new research looking at the jobs most likely to be replaced by AI. We'll have those details when we return.
With the rise of AI, many are trying to predict what human jobs will be most disrupted. Well, a new study offers some informed guesses.
And to tell us more about the study, we've invited CTV Science and Technology Specialist Dan Riskin. I think a lot of people, young and old, want to know where the jobs of the future are going. AI really has the potential to replace so many of them. We've seen AI news anchors. I mean, they're still creepy at this stage, but...
They're always going to be creepy. I think part of what makes a news anchor great is that it's a real human being and you trust them, right? And over the course of seeing the same person reporting on different things, you get a sense of their impartiality and you trust that person. You can't trust AI, and I think that's one of the reasons that news anchors are protected in a future of AI, and that's kind of what this study gets at, is there are lots of jobs that AI could do, but people don't want AI to do them, like brain surgeon or Supreme Court judge, right? Like AI could take all that information and read it and give you a decision, but should it? And so this latest study doesn't just look at what the theoretical possibilities are that AI could do this, so maybe it will, but it's more like, is there an economic argument for it? If you look at startups in Silicon Valley and what they are proposing and the startups that are getting funded, what AI jobs are those for? And they are things like white-collar jobs, management, information technology, things like that, but it's not judge and it's not brain surgeon because nobody wants to hire an AI brain surgeon or judge. And so by those arguments, jobs where you have to trust that person are more protected than we might have realized in this AI future.
Well, that's encouraging.
Yeah.
So this next study looks at a simple clue to make us come across as more polite.
Yes, it's a simple clue, and that is to speak more slowly. I love this study because they look at the speaker and they look at the listener, and both sides show the same story. If you want to be seen as polite, you speak more slowly. When people were asked to read a piece of text, read it politely or read it casually. When people are asked to be polite, they read it about 6% more slowly. And then when people listen to text, even if they don't understand the words and they're just listening to the pacing, they had a text that was written and read in Finnish, in like the country Finland, in that language, and it was listened to by people who spoke Hebrew and spoke no Finnish, and they were asked, do you think this person was reading politely or casually? 75% of the time they got it right. So just listening to the pace, you can tell if someone's trying to be polite. So we probably do it already, but if you want to be sounding polite, speak slowly.
Wow, I would have never thought. Okay, next up, a study regarding laughter and fake laughter wired differently in the brain than real laughter. What's this about?
Well, this is really neat. I love any story about laughing, but you know, laughing and fake laughing seem so similar that it just seems like it's two sides of the same coin. This suggests that they're separate parts of the brain and they evolved separately, which is a really interesting way to think about them and how different they are. When people are going to have surgery, brain surgery for epilepsy, the scientists will put electrodes into their brain to find where different things are. And when all those electrodes are in place, you can stimulate different parts of the brain. And they found there are certain parts of the brain that you can stimulate that make people feel laughter, and they laugh genuinely. And there are other parts of the brain where people will do the laughing motion, but they feel no joy. And they're totally separate parts of the brain. And so, yes, they're separate geographic regions in the brain, anatomical regions, but also they believe that one evolved before the other. This real laughter that we have is a thing that evolved early in human evolution as a way to show surprise and to show people how we feel about things so that we could build communities. And then later, we evolved this ability to sort of be a little bit manipulative and, you know, pretend to laugh and to control people's perceptions of us. And those are just two separate things. And so I think very differently about laughter, having looked at this study.
All right, that does make sense. CTV Science and Tech Specialist Dan Riskin, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Take care. Well, still to come, marking an anniversary for the iPhone. We'll have those details when we return.
Get Toronto's top stories, breaking news alerts, and watch live. Download the CTV News app.
Today marks 19 years since the first iPhone went on sale. The first model went on sale on June 29, 2007. It sold for roughly $500 US and came with 4 gigabytes of storage. Most average iPhones come with about 200 gigabytes. The original iPhone was not available in Canada. The first version to be sold in this country was the 3G version starting in 2008.
The BET Awards were handed out last night, and the show ended with a surprise performance by Lauryn Hill. The 51-year-old performed her hit X Factor after being presented with the Living Legend Icon Award.
The stage adaptation of Spirited Away will make its North American premiere in Toronto. The international touring production will have a 15-week run at the Princess of Wales Theatre starting next May. The show is based on the Oscar-winning animated film of the same name. Performances will be in Japanese with English subtitles.
You're watching CTV News at noon. Nature turning up the heat this week. Stay with us.
Before we go, let's check in one last time with CTV's Jessica Smith as the kickoff between Brazil and Japan is just moments away. Jess.
Lots of excitement here, Nathan. Obviously cheering for Brazil. What brought you out today? Obviously it's a beautiful day, but what is it like supporting your team around all these people and all your fellow fans?
So I came with my team here from work, and this is amazing place and amazing vibe, so we are cheering from Brazil today.
What is the secret to winning today? Obviously Brazil has a storied history when it comes to the World Cup, but what's the secret today?
Oh, it's Vini Jr. for sure, and maybe Neymar. Let's see.
For our friends from Japan, I have to ask you, what's the secret for Japan winning today? This is going to be a tough game.
Yeah, it's a tough game, but it's going to be Japan win!
Yeah! Japan win! Who's going to win? Who do you think's going to win?
Brazil!
There's lots of excitement here as we get ready for kickoff. They just finished the anthems for both teams. Lots and lots of energy here. Lots of fans from Brazil. It's not hard to see kind of how many fans from Brazil are here, but you know what? The energy through the roof. Through the roof. Good vibes all around. The game is just about to begin. It's anybody's guess what's going to happen. Who's going to win?
love it. Wow, that patio has filled right up. And look, Nathan Phillips Square as well. Can we just say it's just been glorious. The World Cup coinciding with the summer. We've had so many beautiful days of sunshine and heat. It really is a marvelous time of year.
Yeah, of course it's worked out so well most days. And perhaps this is a good reminder to encourage people to stay hydrated, find shade if you're out at one of those watch parties, because standing in the sun all day, all afternoon can take its toll. Into tonight, we're going to drop to about 20 degrees for a low, which is actually heat warning criteria. I wouldn't be surprised to see Environment Canada issue some warnings a little later today for starting tonight and then certainly for the coming days. So tomorrow's forecast high is 32 degrees. It's going to feel more like 41 at the height of the day. We do have a risk of thunderstorms tomorrow. Perhaps it's the day we have the strongest likelihood of experiencing them, although we will keep an eye on Canada Day Wednesday as well. Your watch party weather looks like this. Yeah, temperatures in the 30s right through the afternoon into the early part of the evening too. There's Canada Day. 35 for a high, feeling into the mid-40s in places. Chance of thunder showers. A westerly breeze not going to give you a whole lot of relief. And those overnight lows, as I mentioned, don't really give you that opportunity to cool down and reset at night. So this is a very hot week. It's a very hot stretch that continues right into next weekend, albeit slightly, relatively cooler by then. Nathan and Michelle.
All right. Thank you, Lindsay. And that is it for CTV News at noon. Remember, you can get Toronto's breaking news all day long on CP24 and at ctvnewstoronto.ca.
For Lindsay Morrison and all of us here, have a pleasant afternoon. I'm Michelle Dubé.
And I'm Nathan Downer. Be sure to join us later for CTV News at 5 and 6. Have a great day.